What's cracking, everybody? Before we go any further, hold up. New video. Oh man, I put my green screen up. Let's do that again. New video. Well, I'll try to edit it out. Maybe I'll just leave it. We have a blooper in there, right? Anyways, let's get to the video. Shout out to Fresno off the top. Shout out to all the perro chatos out there. Let me tell a story. And let me just get to the story first. So this story has to do with, we were on the yard one time, right? Do I still have echo on here? So we were on the yard one time, right? And oh, my dog's tripping. Hold up. He heard perro chato. Look at him. Hold on. You done over there? You done? We're recording right now, player. It's my time, not your time. Checked his ass. So anyways. Oh, hell no. Is he talking to me? Hey, get over there. Oh, I'm going to let him do what he's doing because I need to get this video done. So, this video has to do with an incident that occurred on the yard one day when this yard at the time, this was a yard where the majority of the vatos from Fresno, majority of the Bulldogs at the time were on beef facility in New Folsom, right? There's probably about 40 of them, at least. And they were enjoying themselves, man. You know, before that, they had been on Sea Yard, and you know they were having issues with the raza from Northern California. So the administration made a decision to move them all off of that facility on the beef facility, and everything was good, you know. And I've said in the past that during that time, this was during the time when there was a red light on Bulldogs and raza from Northern California. Again, yes, I said red light. You know, when I told that story last time, people were trying to correct me. Don't you mean a green light? No, red light. There was no offensive stuff going on as far as the raza from Southern California were not attacking Fresno or raza from up north because they were having their dispute, and it was step back and let them do their thing. Defend yourselves. If something goes wrong and there's disrespect, then go from there. But there's not going to be any offensive maneuvers, right? That's a red light. So those of you that want to correct me, I was there. So this was during that time. But, you know, I don't go into the names of different disruptive groups and stuff like that or the organizations, right? But those that know within the raza from up north, there was a group, and it was, even though there was a red light, if you know for a fact that there's one there that is a part of that thing, go ahead, right? So one day we're on yard. I feel like there's still echo on here. One day we go to yard, right? And a new vato comes. He's in orientation, and we know it's a new vato from up north, whatever, right? Well, he hits the yard, boom. And when he hits the yard, the vatos from Fresno knew exactly who he was. And he was of that group. Not one of the big organizations, but one of those groups, right? Where there's a go-ahead on them, okay? No matter what. But these vatos knew who he was, and they wanted him. So what they did is they went to the raza from Southern California. They went to who they had to go to, and they were like, look, there's a vato that came. Well, you know, there's a guy that came, and this is who he is. This is his name. This is where he's from. And we're going to get him. You know, we're going to let him know what time it is. You know, you don't come over here with us and woo-woo, right? Oh, man, it was a good one, right? So everybody, yeah, hey, you vatos do your thing. Okay, cool. So amongst the raza from Southern California, it was put out there like, hey, Be trucha, do your thing, but just be trucha because the vatos from Fresno are gonna do something, and you know that's the target right there. Okay, cool. So you know, vatos are playing handball, vatos are playing pinochle, but everybody's looking. You know, you got that. Where's he? Where's that guy at? Oh, he's right there. Okay, yeah. Keep an eye on him, right? So you know, because it's unfortunately in prison, when you know somebody's gonna get downed, you get interested. You know, some guys like to position themselves where they're gonna be able to see the whole thing, the whole get down, right? And so this was said at the beginning of the yard. Hey, we want this dude right here. We want to set the example out of him. You know, woo. So that happened at the beginning of the yard. So yard's going, you know, 15 minutes in. Okay, yeah, they're probably setting up. You know, and then it becomes a game where you're trying to figure out like which ones are the shooters. You know, you start looking like who's a little bit more pale. You know, what are vatos wearing? Are they wearing something out of the ordinary? You know, something they usually wouldn't wear to yard. And you know, it becomes a game, right? And half hour goes by, 45 minutes go by. You know, an hour goes by, and everybody's like, "Hey, hold on, was this for reals? Like, Is it really gonna happen?" So they go and ask him like, "Hey," and they're like, "We got this, Holmes. We got this. Hey, this vault's done." Okay. Next thing you know, equipment recall. Oh, hold on. Let me do this the right way. Equipment recall. When you hear equipment recall in the yard, those of you that have been in the joint, you already know. For those of you that haven't, and I'm talking about California, those of you that haven't, equipment recall means there's 5 minutes left to the yard. So turn in the balls, turn in whatever you checked out, and get your shit together and get ready because you're going in 5 minutes. That's what equipment recall means, right? So it's like, fuck, hey, equipment recall. When's this happening, right? Okay, whatever. 5 minutes go by. Yard recall. Chingao. Is anything really happening? So it's like, okay, well, maybe they couldn't get to him. Maybe who they needed to do it couldn't get to him. Try again tomorrow. But you see that some of the Bulldogs were slow dragging, right? I was being nosy as a motherfucker. Me and the couple of dudes that I was with were like, hey, let's slow drag. Because we see the vato, and it was a trip because the vato from up north had a limp. So he's limping. He was at the bottom of the yard and he was coming around. So he was gonna finish his lap on the track, come up to the top, and then go through because he was in 1 block. At the time I lived in 3 block. That's the small side of the yard on B facility in New Folsom. The big side is where the big yard's at, and you have blocks 5, 6, 7, and 8. The small side you have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? He's got to go to the small side. I live on the small side. You have to walk through a breezeway, and then you get through, right? So the vato from up north is limping. I don't know if he ever got shot or whatever, but this is him. He's doing it, though. You know what I'm saying? He's there. What's up? Getting his limp on. Pimp beat the smooth, right? And we look, and there's two Bulldogs trailing them. And we look and we're like, that's it right there. They're going to get him in the breezeway, right? So the vato from up north he's walking past, like that, right when he gets, to anybody that's been on B facility in New Folsom, you know what I'm talking about. He gets past Blood Alley, the laundry, and he's getting right by where the canteen is, right? And the vato's, man, I got no battery. Hopefully they didn't do nothing. The vatos from Fresno, they made their move, eh? Go time! They were by him. Limpy was like, he looked back at him, looked forward, and that's when they made their move. Woo! Go time! There's a reason why in the joint you never send 2 people that are inexperienced. And I'm going to chalk this up as inexperience. I'm not going to chalk it up as of being 2 guys being afraid of 1 guy with a limp. But let me tell you what happened. You ever see a woman like in the funniest videos? You ever watch America's Funniest Videos and like there's a spider on the corner of the cupboard, right? And a woman has to kill the spider, and they do one of these like they're like that's what happened. That's what happened. The two went forward, and one of them went like this with the fucking razor, and they got him. Like, I was like, I don't know, somewhere right here or right here, right? And limping, you know, he's walking, he's limping, and they hit him, wham, wham, and he turned around like, what? And they were in full speed reverse. Oh my goodness. They went, and you can only walk one way on the track. Them two guys went against the traffic, right? And there was like 7 or 8 of us that saw what happened. And I think we all like, we're still on our feet, but we fainted. We couldn't believe what just happened. We were like, what the fuck was that? What just happened? And it was funny because when Limpy, like I said, he turned around like, what? And like he tried to go towards them and shit, right? And when they took off, that fool was hot. That fool started hitting the track. That fool was limping fast. And you knew what he was thinking. I'm going to get back to my cell. I'm going to cut my fucking locker and I'm stabbing the first dude from Fresno. You know he had to be thinking that. They cut him. They did. They cut him. But it was so funny. Look, I'd never seen anybody move like that, right? And so we're looking and we're like, we got to get through. Because now the vato's cut, right? He's got to go through the breezeway. There's Judas in the breezeway. So boom, we bust through. Whoop, let's go. And we looking and Limpy's moving, right? And when we go through the breezeway, there's more seasoned bulldogs there. And we're looking at them, and they were looking at us like, please don't clown. Because we were cool with them. You know, at the time, we were real cool. We used to always bullshit with each other. And they were looking at us like, please don't clown us. Not this one. This shouldn't happen. You know, we were like, what the fuck? And they were like, shouldn't have sent those two. Shouldn't have sent. You know, these are just regular dudes that, you know, whoever made the decision to send those two guys, that guy should never ask nobody again. But anyway, so we saw him posted, and we knew the guys that were more seasoned were not going to let that dude walk through that breezeway. He was not going to go through there and make it to his cell because these dudes were more seasoned and knew. If we let him in his cell, he becomes a threat to anybody on the tier with him. And then that falls back on them. Because what if he hits a Southerner? Why would he hit the Southerner? Because the move that was done on him wasn't finished. You know, you scratched the dude, yeah, you drew blood, but now you let him go back in the cell and make something? So he was coming through, and before the two that we knew would do something could get to him, the Judas, he was trying to like cover it up, but he was leaking, and his shirt had blood on it. So he went to the hole for that. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed the story. This is a story. There's really no moral to the story other than don't be afraid of a guy with a lip. No. But, you know, in prison, the moral of the story in prison would have been when you start something, finish it, right? Those guys, again, like I said, at least for the vatos from Southern California, they will never pair up two inexperienced individuals for that reason. There's got to be a seasoned guy with a new guy. Right? And that's so one carries the other one if he has to. This was a situation where neither knew what they were doing. And I think they were both afraid because apparently the dude was known to be a violent dude. And even though they had the weapon and they had the element of surprise on their side, the adrenaline and anxiety must have got the best of them. Now, I'm sure the next time they did something, they were ready. they had already got the butterflies out. You know, after that first one, those people that get scared, you know, it's a trip because you would think they'd stab somebody on the street so they wouldn't be afraid. But, you know, them rifles up there in those towers out here in California are a motherfucker. They'll knock you off your feet. And maybe that played a part of it. But anyways, this is in no way to clown Novatos from Fresno. Again, shout out to the Bulldogs. But this was a funny story, and somebody asked me, hey, can you tell a funny story on something that was supposed to happen and it turned out to be funny? And this was the one that popped into my head. And but they're not there's a lot of funny stories like that where, you know, shit like that happens. But like I said, that's the one that popped into my head. And I just figured I'd tell that story. If you guys like the video, share the video. Right now, YouTube is, there's something going on with my channel. I don't know what it is, but if you like the video and if you share the video, it helps to get the channel moving back in the right direction. With that, I'll let you guys go. Stay safe, stay smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, all right? I'm out.